Arizona renters will no longer pay a rental tax. Never heard of a rental tax? Chances are you didn't have it in the first place. The city of Tucson does not tax residential rentals, so there's no chance for people who live in city limits, but it will impact some smaller cities and towns. A 13 fact finder Brooke Wagner is looking into it. And Brooke, this might sound like a good thing, but not everyone is happy that transaction privilege tax has been banned in our state.
Well, that's the way it goes, right? Everyone's not ever happy at the same time, because in this case, the cities and towns that do collect residential rental tax will lose a revenue stream. In southern Arizona, those include South Tucson, Douglas, Sahuarita, and Sierra Vista. So I talked to mayors about the impact. For many renters, it's a New Year's gift, paying 1 to 4% less because of a ban on transaction privilege taxes. For most, that's around $5 to $20 that won't be tacked onto your monthly rent anymore.
Right now, I'm a single daddy and my little girls, so anything helps the pockets right now.
Governor Hobbs signed the law to help fight inflation and rising rent. And while that means some families will have a little more for groceries and gas, the League of Arizona Cities and Towns says it hurts the big picture.
We're talking about public safety, police and fire. We're talking about parks, libraries, quality of life services such as senior and youth centers.
Until now, Arizona cities and towns like Sierra Vista and South Tucson collectively took in about $230 million a year from these taxes. At this point, the state has no plan to make up for the losses.
We're looking at a loss of probably $564,000.
Sierra Vista Mayor Clea McCaw says that money has gone to things like public safety and parks. Sierra Vista's city manager started preparing last year, so McCaw says they won't be cutting services, but would have been able to provide more. The way the mayor sees it, that 1% may not have meant a lot to renters, but it paid off big for the city.
$800 in rent, $8 goes to rental tax.
Then there's South Tucson, where Mayor Roxana Valenzuela told me we lost roughly $80,000 a year, impacting our ability to ensure safe and affordable housing. She went on to say, this is part of a larger problem. The state is undermining local control, even though we know what our community needs best. Savage agrees there is a bigger problem with housing that can't be solved with a few dollars a month.
Really, the only two options that are available to do that is to increase local taxes or to cut services and potentially cut jobs.
But McCaw remains optimistic.
If we can sit down with our senators and our legislators to show them a way forward, I know that we can come up with a good solution.
Lawmakers who wrote the law say cities need to find other funding sources that don't cost residents. This tax only applies to leases of more than 30 days, and you do not need to do anything to get it taken off your rent bill. Landlords must drop it automatically. If you still see it itemized on your bill, talk to your landlord. We'll post the list of affected cities on KOLD.com in the Fact Finders section. Brooke Wagner, 13 News.